New vlog. Today is a special day because I am speaking at the Future Business Leaders of America conference here in Berkeley. It's a consortium of a bunch of community colleges, Cal, UCLA, San Jose State, a few others from around the area that are all here to do kind of like a mini Shark Tank. Think about a bunch of young entrepreneurs, some imaginary companies, some real companies, actually making pitches to either get funding or further their cause or even do consulting for a business. They brought me in to do their opening keynote, which I'm gonna do here in a bit, but I'm gonna stick around and talk with a lot of these guys because this stage was where exactly I was at when I got started in the career that I'm in now. And making all the connections, shaking all the hands, getting into the right rooms, all the things that I talk about now, it all started at this stage, at this age. So I'm really excited to be with these guys today and be part of this event, but even more excited to learn about their stories and see what these guys are doing and actually really see what the future of this country is, because this is what is actually going to change the course of the country. Forget about who's in office or who's doing this or that. Like the young 18 to 25-year-olds that are just getting started with their ideas, their hopes, their dreams, this is what the country is going to be all about. So I'm pumped. Let's get inside and do this. So you guys are here as graduating students, or are you currently in school?
So we're actually currently attending a community college. We're attending Dabo Valley College.
Nice.
I'm planning the transfer actually fall 2025, and my colleague over here is also doing the same, I think.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I'm planning to transfer as well within the next year.
Nice. All right. And so how did you guys get part of this organization or this group?
Club environments, especially at community college campuses, are very different because it's very close-knit, and it's kind of hard to find an environment where you're surrounded by people that have the same mindset as you. So that was something I was kind of looking for. And one day I was in, surprisingly, the business building, right? And I met this guy named David. He was a part of the business club on campus, which is a part of this organization. And he was like, hey, you should check it out. It'll be really fun. You'll meet a lot of good people, network. Literally, after that happened, my life changed. I met so many great people, like my buddy Morgan over here. And, you know, overall, not just that, but like for me, improving my soft skills, my technical skills as well, my business acumen has been a huge part of this journey for me, and I feel like it is for a lot of other students here as well.
So today, actually, I got blessed to be in two competitions with my brother Bruno right here. We are doing our finance case study as well as our marketing case study.
Okay.
And I'm very excited about both prompts, but I think the Victoria's Secret one excites me the most because we have free reign.
For obvious reasons.
Of course, just look at us. But we have free reigns to be creative as possible. And me, I'm not a business major. I'm actually an English major. And I think I could utilize my skills with speech and writing to actually be creative in my thinking and problem solving with this case.
So these three guys have been hard at work. I was watching how intense they were and found out they're a team. So they're doing a team. Is it a team pitch?
We're on about 5 hours of sleep as a team.
Okay.
When we're showing up, we're ready to perform.
All right.
Here
That's
we
it,
have
man.
Taekwondo. It's a golf glove. It's a revolutionary grip that helps players enhance accuracy and reduce hand slips. So a little bit about
This is
us.
Travis,
Yep,
Ranveer,
it's me.
and Yusuf. All right. So
Here we are.
Yusuf, what's your role in all this today, man?
I'm showing up as a presenter in his company that he started. This is a real one. We're going to show a real product compared to other golf clubs on the market. We're going to show why we're better than all of them and how our quality surpasses all of them. And then we have some real life demos that we're going to bring in during our pitch.
Yeah.
We'll be showing how our specific glove, which is right here,
That's one of our prototypes.
is a prototype that we're going to show the judges on hand and have them try it out during a real life demo using water and all weather conditions. Overall, it's just a matter of proving why our product is better overall and then why we're able to sell it.
Nice.
So,
This is like a real episode of Shark Tank. I feel like we're about to get. Ranveer, tell me, man, like what is the aim for today? Like obviously you guys are pitching the product, but what are you guys wanting to get out of today?
So ultimately, like, we want to get more exposure to Taekwondo because I think one of our advantages is that, like, this is an actual product.
Right.
Most people today came in just like making something up
Sure,
randomly,
like
but this is
imaginary,
like
right?
Travis is the founder, and we're in here for marketing and finance and helping out. So this is a legitimate business we actually have, and we're gonna be doing a live demo there as well. So our main goal is just to place well and obviously gain exposure for the business. So I think we have a pretty good chance of getting an award.
This gentleman I met last year when I did one of the financial literacy workshops. He was the one guy at the back that was nodding his head and cheering me on and not throwing stuff at me. Kind guy, Bob Maxwell from the College of the Canyons. Bob and I were just talking about why this event is so important. And, you know, obviously you traveled to be up here for this.
Sure.
Why do you feel this is so important for the youth?
When you look back on your career like I have, you see there were points where things really made a difference at the time, didn't seem that important. And I know that this is that kind of experience that you have that gives somebody a sense of confidence and purpose and focus that helps them later on. This is really going to help somebody in a way they don't even know about today.
Couldn't agree with you more, and I'm so glad that you're just as passionate about it and your son was a byproduct of it. How can people get involved? How can people help causes like this and organizations like this? Is it just monetarily? Are there ways to support it?
I think there's two ways. I think one is monetarily.
Okay.
It's always tough for colleges to get money to send students. I know we're always struggling to try to find money to send students to conferences where they have to travel.
Yep.
Our school's been very supportive for that. But if you have an opportunity to go and make a donation or to help out, buy, if they're doing a fundraiser, buy whatever it is that they're fundraising on, that's a great way to do it. The other way is just to give time. They're always looking for judges.
Yep.
They're looking for people to come and speak at the events. We have a lot of community leaders that come in and talk to our students at our local events. And that's really important because, again, it gives them a chance to students to see what the future for them can look like and to hear how the people got there and their journeys. And they can use that then in knowing not only how their journey can go, but also knowing that along the way there's bumps and things that you have to overcome. And it just gives them that confidence. So I think just giving of your time and yourself is really a big, important part of it.
Bob, I appreciate the mission and the work you guys do, and appreciate you guys bringing me back, and it was good to see you, my friend.
Well, thank you. Appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for coming up.
My pleasure, brother. Really what today's about is a little bit of a wake-up call, some life, some business, and then I want to leave you guys with a mindset that I feel not only will be applicable to today, but if you can understand it and grasp it, you're going to be successful at every single thing you do in life. This slogan is everywhere for me. It's on my desk at work. It's on my screen lock for my phone. I have it on a post-it note on a mirror. And I want you guys to remember this because the stakes are higher now. Yes, there was an election. There's AI disruption. Technology is moving fast. Everything is happening at hyper speed. That's not meant to scare you, but it's also not, on the opposite extreme, guys, meant to allow you to relax. If you don't seize moments or take advantage of things, somebody else will. If you don't take the opportunity or take the risk, somebody else will. If you don't make the call, if you don't apply for the thing, if you don't ask that person out, somebody else will. And the faster you grasp this and recognize this, as opposed to sitting back and thinking I got time or whatever, I'm not saying that anyone needs to be in a panicked state, but things are moving fast and they're only going to continue to get faster. When I sat where you guys were, it was a totally different change of pace. Technology wasn't doing what it was doing, and I thought it was fast then. Now, this is hyperspeed. All right, let me tell you guys at this stage what will not work going forward for the rest of your lives. And I still abide by this. I call it AA. This will kill an industry. This will kill a career. It'll level you personally, and that's audacity and arrogance. The audacity to think that you can't be taught anything new, that nobody can share anything with you, and that you know it all. And the arrogance to just think that you're fine where you're at. And I'll give you an example of this with an industry, because everyone can relate to this. That's the story of this company. The taxi cab industry had a monopoly on ride sharing and transportation that people actually paid for, aside from public transportation. They had a monopoly, only game in town, but they got complacent. It didn't evolve, it didn't get better. The consumer experience of people who got into the car was shit. The person had a terrible attitude. Most of the time they haven't bathed in days, so it smelt in the car. You got something stuck to the bottom of your shoe, and if you were wearing something light colored or nice, good luck when you got out of that car. There was something stuck to it, you had a stain. It was a terrible experience. Entrepreneurs see this on the side and they say, that industry is ripe for disruption. We can take that thing and turn it upside down. Consumers are dissatisfied with it. We have money, technology is coming in. How do we fuse those two together to make a better experience? Gives rise to this company, industry leveled. You go from having a monopoly, the only game in town, to now being completely irrelevant. Why? This word, disruption. Disruption, guys, is not a matter of if it happens, it's just a matter of when. It will continually happen. And I want you guys to be aware, whether it's AI, whatever it is that's gonna come in, life, industry, work, everything is gonna constantly get turned upside down on its head. You just have to adapt. You have to be quick on your feet. The counter to disruption is to be so valuable that you always are in need. If you're not valuable, you're first on the chopping block. That's why layoffs happen. That's why people get cut from work. That's why they're considered to be dismissible, or you're just a commodity. Whatever you get into, and I don't know, there's lots of different career paths, just be so valuable that you can never be overlooked. If you do that, you'll always have a job and you'll always have a place to be at any table. 3 successful traits of people. They always find a way to get into the room. Whatever it is, if there's a conference, if there's a meeting, whatever they got to do to pay, beg, borrow, steal their way in, elbow their way in, get in there, they find a way to be in the room around people that are making stuff happen. Because if you're around those people, chances are some of that's going to absolutely rub off on you, even when it financially didn't make sense. Because you, at any stage in your life, are one conversation, one handshake, one keynote, one note, one elbow rub away from literally changing the trajectory of your career, your life. They're constantly sharpening their craft. Everyone successful that I've talked to, they are relentless about getting better. They never get complacent, right? Because if you don't, somebody else will. Remember that. And lastly, they never bitch about the market or their circumstances. Never, ever bitch about it. So whatever you got, and you're gonna have to just make it work. You find a way to make it work and you show resilience.
So you talked a lot about like your struggles during your speech.
Yeah.
But I want to know, you gave a brief example of like a failure that you've experienced.
So I think failures are all lessons, right? There's no such thing as losses. Wins don't give you anything. They just reward you for being prepared and seizing the moment. People think you learn a lot from winning. So they don't. They can give you a false sense of security. So you got to recognize that a win is just rewarding you for being prepared and seizing the moment. That's it. There's no lesson to learn. The lessons are what you learn along in failures. Financially, that was probably the biggest failure, I feel. And it wasn't even a failure, again, because failure is such a negative, heavy word. It was just a huge lesson because in 2003, 4, 5, and 6, when the market was going crazy, I was blowing money, spending it, because I never thought the music would stop. I thought it would just keep going. It's like in a nightclub and the beats just keep coming. I'd save a little bit, but I would spend way more. I should have saved so much more. When the music stopped and there was no more income and I realized I can't even pay my bills. I remember getting a check for like 15 or 16K and it wouldn't even pay my bills. And I was like, dude, I am way out over my skis. I realized 1, you gotta get spending under control. 2, you gotta have diverse streams of income. The more streams of income you can create, the better off you'll be because you can ride out any storm. You can't solely be dependent on one. And that's the biggest thing, I think, for everyone to really get their head around in the United States. A salary is one income stream, but a salary will not raise your economic status in this country because it can never keep pace with inflation. But if you have multiple streams of income, and if one turns off, the other 2 are going, you'll always be kind of safe and be able to ride out any storm. So that was the biggest lesson I learned, was not being diversified enough in terms of having multiple streams of income and spending way more than I should.
What is like some advice or something you wish you knew?
I think if you remember that it's not about you, whatever mission you're on, whatever you're trying to do, make it all about them. How can I solve their problems? How can I help them? Because if you remain in service to whoever it is you're trying to serve or make money from, you'll always be genuine, you'll always be authentic, you'll always be sincere, and you won't run out of work because you're actually helping them. Because if they keep winning, are they gonna not hire you anymore? If they keep winning and doing well, they're gonna have a need for you, always.
Yeah.
But if you're there to just transactionally take their money and do something and then they're not really getting any better from it, they're like, well, at some point, I don't need to pay you anymore because this isn't really working for me. It was cool, it was exciting for like a month, but it didn't really do anything.
What makes you stand out compared to like your competitors? Like how did you ensure that what you have is different?
The reason they can't beat me is because I give a shit. I will care so much and go above and beyond for the people that I serve and the customers and the clients I have that my competition won't do that. They might say they do, and maybe even do it to a certain extent, but they won't overdo it the way I do.
Is that passion?
It's passion, it's kindness, it's part of like a bigger mission. That's like really, it's more passion, it's more purpose. This gentleman I got to meet last year when I first got introduced to this great group, Billy Colston, who is the state director for the entire organization. He opened up the event and is kind of the one herding all these cats. But Billy, this is incredible work of like a focus on young people. Why, in your opinion, is this so important, sometimes overlooked? And the impact you guys are having here, like how is this all playing out?
You know, I got involved in the organization when I was in college. I had an amazing impact on me, right? It helped me organize my thoughts, get to the position where I knew what I wanted to do with my life, right? Not only from a professional perspective, but from a personal perspective too. And I think that's, you really want to marry your career with your personal life and have those goals mirrored, I guess, and aimed towards the same direction, right? Because if you don't, then you get this mismatch where, you know, you're 10 years into your career, you don't love it, you don't like what you do, and you want to move on, right? So I think that's the biggest part of us, is like trying to figure out really what people want to do and giving them the opportunity to try different things.
Okay, so this is my good friend Mary Mikoyan, who is the state president for the organization. She's the one who brought us in for this, and she opened up the entire event. Mary, what is today all about?
The slogan for the conference is Transform Your Tomorrow. So we wanted to motivate and inspire all of our members that are attending, and we have almost 200 members attending, which is a large number considering the growth. So we wanted to help them transform their tomorrows. So we have workshops like financial literacy management. We also have activities like how to map your goals, create bracelets just for fun as well. So we have social activities, we have workshops, but we also have competitive events where they do case study competition, pitch competition, and also impromptu speaking.
Okay.
So we want to see how creative they are.
And who all is in attendance? Tell me more about what is represented here.
So most of our chapters are community college students.
Okay.
So we have large membership that comes from community colleges. We also have chapters that are in University of California, San Diego, UC Berkeley, and also UC Irvine. So those are our larger chapters. So that's most of our membership, community college students.
And why do you feel this is so important for people of your generation to be part of things like this?
Well, as our name, Future Business Leaders of America, all we are is about helping all of our membership to grow and become the best that they can be. So whatever their field of interest is, all we do is push them to be better. So that's what our goal is, to grow our membership, to reach out as many people as we can, but also to just be friends and be a great network for them.
So some people like to say that the American dream is becoming more elusive or that it's dying. That's BS. They'll also tell you that they're worried about the youth of this country and its future and that it's going to be in their hands. I'll tell you what, today, after being here, I couldn't be more confident about the future of America and the future of its dream and promise, because seeing what these guys are all up to, how serious they're taking it, how they're all growing and developing as humans and as professionals that are going to be actually leading this world, I think we're in great hands. So if you are in a community where there's organizations like this, I urge you to get behind it, support it, find ways. Give your time, help, monitor or judge their competitions, donate financially if you can to help put on these events, because they do take money and effort from locals, and get in there and support it, because these guys are going to be the ones that are going to be carrying all of us and leading us into the future. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and we will see you guys on the next vlog.